Alrighty, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to another StarCraft 2 Daily Masters. Now, these are not the sort of normal Masters players game sort of thing. I didn't take them from like a GSL or some other sort of professional tournament. Somebody did send me in these replays, but there are supposed to be Masters and or Grandmasters level players. So I thought, for Daily Masters, let's give it a crack, because it's supposed to be a very, very epic game. So, yeah. So let's see how it goes. And let's introduce the players. Don't know much about them. Up the top side of the map, it is Mr. Mario, I believe. HTO Mario. Who we did actually cast ages and ages ago. But haven't seen him for ages and ages. Probably because he isn't in many of the professional tournaments like GSL and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah. But we are seeing him right now. He is, of course, the Terran player, and apparently he plays for the ND Game clan, or he's in a clan called ND Game. I'm really not sure. And his opponent down at the bottom right-ish side of the map is going to be Mr. Yoon from the iGay team. And we are not going to make any guesses as to what the deal with this guy is. We're just going to say he is Yoon, and he is probably going to be pretty good. So yeah, let's have a look. So far we've got extremely fast tank play out of Mr. Mario. Looks like he's going to be putting one out ASAP. And I can't imagine him doing any sort of aggressive push with this. It looks like he's going for straight up defensive play, going to try and hold on as long as possible. It looks like it's going to be a pretty heavy macro based game, just building a ton of workers, that sort of thing. So yeah, not your typical game. It is not going to be your typical TvZ where you see the typical sort of stuff happening, but we'll see exactly what happens. So we've got a double Evo chamber here, and a whole bunch of queens coming out, and an armory coming out. So it looks like it's going to be full on mech from Mr. Mario. I can't imagine he's getting this out to go for fast Thors or anything like that. I think it's just to get the upgrades going, to get into the mech as soon as he can. And yes, whether or not we'll see a fast third command center is a question which I just asked, but I'm not sure the answer. So going to be interesting, but definitely the tanks are going to be stopping any sort of fast, aggressive play from Mr. Yoon from coming in. And Lings are going to get shredded. Banelings are going to get shredded even more because they just don't have the speed. And they probably won't have the speed early in the game. Roaches, meh. We do know that Banelings are potentially coming out, but yeah, they are not going to do very well against tanks at all. They're going to get owned. So yes, very, very interesting stuff. Not much happening. The fact that we've seen tanks so early on in this game makes me feel like just speeding it up. So we're going to go to ×2 speed, going to check out what's being built, see what's happening. We do have a nice macro hatch going on here, a bunch of workers coming out. So Yoon trying to build up a nice worker advantage, but Mr. Mario, of course, does still have a whole bunch of workers just lying around. And yes, still not seeing a third base coming out of him though. So it looks like he's happy with the 2-base defensive play that he's currently playing with. Nice sensor tower as well. And it's going to be interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see if this really is a Daily Masters quality game. Anytime you don't get something out of the GSL or like a professional tournament, then it's kind of, I don't know. I just do not know, but we'll see. I mean, they're master level players, so I think there's probably, oh damn, I missed half of what those Widow Mines did, but we can have a look. 5 kills. Because yeah, I think, I'm not sure, but I think that a professional tournament Masters level player is to a Masters League Master level player as a Masters League Master level player is probably to a gold player or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's probably the breakdown. So we'll see what happens in this game, but I think that's probably how it is. So you've got the gold level players, you've got the master level players, and then you've got the professional level players, which of course are in Masters level or Grandmasters level, but they're actually like, they're in professional tournaments. They're the best of the best of the best. So, it's going to be interesting, but that's not to say this game is not going to be epic, and it's not to say that this is not going to be a Masters level game, because it will definitely be both. Alright, so we've got some Swarm Hosts coming out. I think it's time to slow down the game again onto normal speed. We've seen enough craziness go on. This Hellbat having a good shot here, and he's actually got a Widow Mine down there with 3 kills. There's going to be taking out some workers when the workers come around. I don't know if Mr. Yoon knows about the Widow Mine. He knows about the Hellbat though, and he's going to be earning that pretty quickly. But what is this upgrade? I've never seen this upgrade before. Oh, that's the Hellbat transformation. Did they change the icon? I almost never see that get researched anyway, so maybe they haven't changed the icon, but damn. Okay. Very interesting. Oh, the Widow Mine's in the worst possible position. All 3 of them getting absolutely owned, and Yoon doing a very, very nice crit spread out here. Going absolutely nuts. We've got a couple of Hellbats. They should, I suppose they can't transform into Hellions. They have to be Hellbats to move across the map. And this guy, it looks like they don't attack buildings by default, which is probably a good thing, because why would you want to waste the damage on that building? It just doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, Widow Mine, don't know how many kills that guy got, but I assume he got a few. Queen's chasing the barracks away. The Swarm Hosts not quite in range to actually do any damage up there, but they're going to be moving forward bit by bit. Of course, they still have to deal with this. Finally sending out some Locusts, and this guy is definitely getting low. Definitely getting low. The Hellbats turn around and attack straight away, and you could potentially kill this hatchery if he keeps attacking it with the Widow Mines. Hellions coming in here as well, trying to do some stuff. I like the fact that Mario keeps the pressure up all the time on both of these sides, because they are fairly well spread out. And if you are using Locusts for your defenses, then it's going to be even slower at actually destroying stuff. So he's lost 2 workers, but he's killed 23 drones so far, which is pretty insane. And here comes the Thor to finish things off. You should probably pick this guy out, because those broodlings will actually do a fair bit of damage. He's actually going to move over to this area. Oh, getting a scan on the Swarm Host. Going to be killing some workers, nice and easy. Meanwhile, the Thor is coming down. Going to be killing some workers, nice and easily. And Yoon, man, is really relying a lot on those Swarm Hosts to do all his fighting, which means that this tactic that Mario is using of moving all over the place, of hitting 2-prong and 3-prong attacks, is so insanely good against these guys, against Swarm Hosts, because Swarm Hosts just are not quick on the defense. They're very, very slow siege-based units. Oh, is he going to be able to save this Thor? He's trying. Oh, it's so close. There it goes. Finally goes down. And the medevac, yeah, that gets destroyed by some random queen or medevac or something like that. Oh, man. But Mario keeping the upgrades up, and Yoon getting the upgrades up as well. He's actually just getting mutas out, but he's already got 1 armor for them. And getting 1 weapons, and I believe this is level 2 air armor as well, so very, very nice stuff. And getting some upgrades for his Swarm Hosts as well. He's got 2-2 for those Swarm Hosts. And now we go, he's moving into a better position to actually do... Oh! Double Thor drop was this. They're moving on in, and it's actually a triple Thor drop, and he's doing some nice micro to keep them alive, getting them spaced out, definitely nice. Oh, blows up a medevac with a Thor in it, that's not good. And the Locust finally doing the damage they need to do. Oh, that's interesting. It was actually up in midair. But hopefully Mario has been building up enough tanks to deal with all these Swarm Hosts, because he is going to need them. He's currently got 4. That's not good. He needs a lot more, because those Swarm Hosts, man, you need to be looking at like 7, 8 tanks, I would say, at the minimum, to be able to fend off a swarm of these guys without taking any serious losses. And he definitely does not have that many tanks. So he needs to be getting a lot more. Thors, I don't think Thors are going to cut it in terms of defending against Locusts. They are just going to get hit way too hard. So I like the fact that he's going out there and doing a lot of damage, moving out a lot, but if these Swarm hosts continue to press on, then he is going to need a lot more tanks to start defending against that. So these guys push on in, taking away the creep. Pretty nice stuff. Needs to get rid of some of that creep as well. Pushing in, does see a lot of spine crawlers. And the mutas going out, going to try and force these guys away. There's nothing really in Mario's army that's all that good against the mutas. Thors are okay, but not in small groups against a large amount of mutas. You really need them as part of a large army, as part of a attrition play. So you've got your huge army, you've got a few Thors at the front, you've got a few Thors at the back. So when the mutas come in and start attacking the Thors at the front, the ones at the back are attacking the muta pack non-stop, and then the mutas just start taking too much damage. Running them into the Locust, he's going to take a few losses, but then again, they are just Hellions, so not that bad. I don't think he's going to be able to do too much damage. He needs to get the heavy DPS on these Swarm hosts, and Hellions in Hellion form do not count as heavy DPS by any stretch of the imagination. Going to be knocking down into this gap right here, sending a wave of Locusts before moving off, but it has given Mario a bit of a chance to actually move in, and he's going to try and attack here. Should be able to do a fairly decent amount of damage. Workers all getting out of there ASAP. Meanwhile, the mutas going for this base, taking out a few missile turrets, but there are more missile turrets where they came from. And the Hellbats doing a great job, but Locusts are about to flank them, so they'll probably take out this hatchery, but they probably won't survive the Locusts. So here we go. The Locusts at the end of their life though, and most of them will die just out of time, but the Hellbats still took an insane amount of damage. Meanwhile, another attack coming down here. A whole bunch of Thors, but Locust once again. Yoon doing a great job at seeing where these units are about to come in and sending his Locusts in there. The Medevac Micro is helping some of these guys to survive, but still they're taking so much damage, and here come the mutas to finish them off. So Yoon so far with the Locusts, with the mutas, has been doing a fantastic job, and Mario is really struggling to deal with the Locusts at this point. He's just hasn't really found that play to sort of push the Locust back. He goes out there, he does damage, it's all good damage, but then he loses units to the Swarm host. And right now, with the Swarm host coming in nice and close, this is going to be scary, because Mario cannot just back off, and I don't think he can just lose units again. Oh, there we go, Yoon, that's what you need to do. Moving those guys away. The mutas coming in as well. The Locust coming in. The Planetary has not stand a chance. And I love the way he split up his Locusts as well. Send half of them down there to take out that base. So great, great, great job. Yoon pressing up nice and close. And Mario, man, where are your tanks? You need tanks. He's still only got 4 here. I think this is definitely a mistake. A bunch of tanks around here would stop these Locusts absolutely 100%. He's holding off right now, but he is still losing workers to hold off. He's trying and push in right here. We do have some Vikings, which are doing a decent job. Once the Thors get in range, the mutas will be pushed back, I feel like. Although they're going nuts over everything, they're not being pushed back, and they're starting to take a serious amount of damage. So that he's got to be careful that he doesn't lose those mutas, because they are 1/2 of the major amount of force that he has on the map. But he's not taking care of them. They are going down, as giving Mario the chance to push in here and take this base out. He's building 15 more mutas. He's got an absolute crap load of income saved up. Although both players have a crap load of income saved up. Although Yoon does have more. I guess destroying units with the Swarm host does work very, very well for your macro. And Mario's micro, as far... Oh, God, this is not good. Oh, tons of Widowmine hits on the mutas. Do shave them down quite a bit, and the Thor's going to try and finish him off. He's got a nice pack of about 5 Thors there, so it's going to be very, very hard for the mutas to take these guys out. But the Locusts eventually do force this base back. Tanks are finally coming out for Mario, so he's finally realized the threat that the Swarm hosts are, you know, showing on his base. Yeah, it only took 2 bases being destroyed for him to finally see that that was going on. But he's continuing to push out here as well, and maybe if he holds off the Swarm host with his forces back here and then pushes in for some kind of base race, maybe he can make it happen. Swarm host just not doing a great job here. But the Locust finally coming out. I think that Swarm host just was completely in the wrong position. And yeah, look at this. Mario just getting completely chased away so easily by one swarm of locusts. Just could not stand against them. And I mean, the tanks, I don't think they were sieged up, and even if they were sieged up, they just did not have the numbers. So there's very, very few things in the Terran army that can stand up to locusts, that can actually force them back. And a massive amount of tanks is potentially the only thing I can think of. Widow Mines. Widow Mines are just too much touch and go. Sometimes they get a good hit off. Sometimes they don't get anything off. Sometimes they get one locust. They might hit one locust or something like that. It is dodgy as. So tanks are really the only thing. Massive amount of tanks really the only thing that can hold off against locusts. And we have not so far seen Mario push out with a whole bunch of tanks and actually put them in a defensive play. Even when you're attacking, you're still going to have tanks in a defensive play, because locusts, it doesn't matter where they are always going to be at your face. Just, yeah, so you really need to be defending against locusts. You cannot attack locusts, you need to defend against locusts wherever they are in the map. So, there. Bunch of locusts coming in. They're not quite going to reach this army, but that's alright. If Mario was pushing down the middle, then Yoon definitely would have seen it right there. So he's moving over. Economy attacking this base. I don't know if he's going to get in range. I think he's going to be able to attack a few things here. We'll see how exactly that goes. Going to move out with a bunch of tanks, but that is just not nearly enough. And here we go. Yeah, you can see you need a lot more tanks. For this many locusts, I would say 7. I'd say 8 would be a good number, definitely. He's got 8 here, but half of them are not in a good range at all. They need to be over up here so they can just absolutely shell this entire area. See, the locusts just getting out the side. There's only about 4 tanks attacking them, and they're still getting in close and doing damage. And the muta numbers are back up. They haven't quite got level 3 attack yet, but that is coming very, very soon. And a whole bunch of Hellions. Is he still going around with Hellions trying to do stuff? I suppose maybe they could do something, but the mutas, man, just, oh, they're just owning them so bad. And Yoon doing a really, really good job so far. I mean, we're starting to see the tank play that we need to see from Mario. That's the only thing that can really knock these guys back. But yeah, I don't know, man. Yoon is just in such a good position at the moment. He's got income ahead. He's actually down on the worker numbers, but he's definitely got more bases than Mr. Mario does. He needs to move these locusts out. He needs to go straight down this line, not try and attack the tanks. So this is going right into where Mario wants him to go. He needs to skate around the side, then half the tanks would not be in range to shoot him, and he'd be able to take out some workers, or something like that anyway. Oh, Widow Mine hits. Absolutely nuts all over the place, and the muta's starting to take some serious damage. Actually, yeah, that thing should still get destroyed. Oh, Raven Bombs do manage to get out of there, so very, very nice macro. Oh, look at all those Widow Mines. Dude, that is absolutely insane. I think in the previous games we've seen from Mario that he loves to play with his mech. He loves to play with these Widow Mines. But, Yoon, man, why do you keep running into the tanks? Run over here, skip half the tanks, attack a bunch of workers. I did not understand why he's not doing that, but then again, maybe it's just a thing, you know? It's just a thing. You can never have a perfect game, or maybe you can have a perfect game. I'm sure there's a couple of games that I've cast, a couple of games that other people have cast where you can say that's the perfect game right there. There you go. He's actually moving the tanks over to defend against a couple of locusts over here, but ooh, is Yoon going to keep moving in that direction? It looks like he is. What an opportunity to move in this direction instead when the tanks were moving over, but we'll see if he figures it out, if he moves his rally point over to the other location. That would be insane if he did. But right now he's just playing fairly standard, just running into where the tanks are, not really stressing Mario's defense too much, and you can see the locusts dying so fast when they go straight into the tanks. This is just complete and utter annihilation. And it's really the sort of thing where, oh, that's a lot of Raven Bombs. Yoon, you need to be moving. He's not moving, and that's a ton of damage that just happened there. A ton of Swarm Hosts that just went down. And that is exactly why Swarm Hosts and Hydras go so well together. And Corruptors, because you need to have defense against the air units, like the Ravens and stuff like that. Yoon just did not have anything to back up his Swarm Host, and definitely did get quite badly owned there. And so yeah, I mean, Yoon had a beautiful army, but he's starting to lose it here. He's starting to make some mistakes. I mean, that was a major mistake, not having the anti-air defense. And the fact that he isn't two-pronging these bases, this base and this base here, just sending the Locusts in continuously to this base, is a mistake, I think, is a very big tactical mistake. And he can even split it. These guys going that way, these guys going that way. Force Mario to have to do some micro, to have to split up his forces. But he's not doing it. He's just using his mutas to try and take care of all this stuff. And look at this, Mario just sending some Thors around to defend against this. So Mario has gotten a handle on the game. And I think a great deal of it is due to the fact that Yoon is not playing him as hard as he possibly could be. He's going to try and take this out here. He's going to get saved at the last second due to the workers repairing it. And, oh man. Oh man, look at all these Raven Bombs going down. No, he's got the Swarm Host, the Spore Crawler, sorry, but it's just not going to be enough. And this is why all of the professional players do have those Hydras and those Corruptors all over the place, because that is just so potent right there. Oh man, I think this is going to be it pretty soon. Yeah, I mean, Yoon is, I don't know. I just do not know right here. Both players pretty low on the macro approach. They've got a decent army. Mario, of course, does have a bit more. It's just a siege right here. Absolutely nuts. And I mean, all it's going to take is another couple of Raven Bombs over here, and Yoon is going to be screwed. So he's continuing to get mutas, but the mutas are doing less and less as time goes on. He's only got 9 at the moment. The constant Thor defense and Widowmine defense has whittled them down quite a lot. 90 Mutalisks have died in this game. That is an insane, insane amount. And yeah, I'm surprised not to see Yoon at the top of that meter with units lost. But I guess the Swarm Hosts have been doing a lot of great work for Yoon in terms of keeping his resources lost count down. Oh man. The mutas. The muta deaths, man. Absolutely incredibly nuts. He's just content to run these guys into the meat grinder. I mean, the bonus of having Swarm Hosts is that they're free units, but look at this. He's just got a scanner here. Do we have units? A bunch of Widow Mines just ran straight in there. That's an interesting play. I don't think I've ever seen that. Of course, if you snuck him in at the right time, you could potentially get some hits off, and it looks like he did get a ton of hits off there. So more Swarm Hosts, 23 total, have been lost. And there's a Raven Bomb. So this is, yeah. This is a, well, what can we really say here? There was some great plays from both players, but there was some iffy plays as well from both players. So if I were to judge it from Daily Master standards, which I kind of have been doing, then I'm like, nah, yeah. But definitely some epic stuff coming out from both players. And I think next time I get a game from these players, I'll probably fan game it, something like that. But still, very, very awesome stuff. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this game. And this is definitely a great game to demonstrate two things. One, if you're a Terran player and you're facing Swarm Hosts, get some freaking tanks, because that's the only thing that can stop Locusts. Everything else will get owned. Number two, if you are facing a Terran player and you've got Swarm Hosts, you need some anti-air. You need Hydras or Corruptors to defend against all sorts of crazy stuff that can come in, like Widow Mines, like Raven Bombs, like all that sort of crap. You need to have, you can't just move Swarm Hosts out and just siege up, because the Terran player will eventually wise up and start sending Raven Bombs straight into your face, and it's just not good at all. Swarm Hosts, Spore Crawlers, help a little bit, But yeah, they're not gonna save everything. So there we go. Game done. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned.